Hey everybody, welcome back to our cabin. Today Jen and I are going to assemble all the parts you see here, and by the end of this video you will have and see a fully functioning dual axis tracking system. While editing this video, it ended up a little longer than I hoped. We take our time, have fun with it, so hope you stick with us, and let's get this project started. Hey guys, welcome back to the cabin. Jen and I are going to get started on a project that we've been wanting to do for a month or two, at least, since the ground is thawed, actually.
And a lot of you have asked about it. What happened to it?
Yeah. We're going to set back up our solar tracker.
And it came down late last summer because we had to move it because we expanded our solar array.
And let's show you our plan and give you a little walk around real quick. If you're interested in that original video, I think that video's got 100 to 200,000 views or something like that. It's a good video.
We'll link it up here above Jay's head.
Yep. And then check out our solar playlist because there's a lot of updates about that unit over the last couple years as well. But, stick with us here. We'll show you the new and improved solar tracker. And what are we going to use this new 1200 watt solar tracker for?
The mini cabin, because it has no solar going into it.
Yep. For now, we're going to set up a tracker, run power right to the cabin, charge a power station. We may ultimately end up running this 1200 watts from the solar tracker and run it to our solar bunker and charge a mega system in there and then run power, AC power to the mini cabin.
Yep.
And that's if I ever stop yakking and updating you guys and telling you all our thoughts and dreams and hopes. So should we get going?
So that means you guys are going to be stuck here for another 10 minutes.
No, we're getting ready to go. Let's go.
Alright guys, this is the first one we put up to save time and money. We're just going to reuse it because that way we don't have to buy concrete again or have this one in the way. But you would typically install this with concrete and a sonotube, and
It worked great.
about 7 bags of concrete went in here.
Yeah, maybe more, but
So this sonotube is 38 inches long with about a foot of concrete on top of it. Roll that over into the hole and hope it sets in there as perfectly and well as we anticipate. But probably won't because we are off-grid with Jay and Jen and we don't have lots of fancy tools and machines and we're just two regular folk winging it. But that's okay because we show you guys that anybody can do it. Just trial and error sometimes, right?
Yep.
Box within a box, within saran wrap, within taped boxes.
I say package it good. So the base is rounded rather than square, but the top, let's see what the top looks like. Let's just measure everything. 3.5 inches. 3.5 inches. Inch and 5/8. Inch and 5/8. The whole diameter looks the same. South is south still. South side has that bracket on it. East side has the spot for the screws for the control panel. So this is the same.
Just slightly upgraded, but otherwise the same, right?
Yeah. This is rounded just a tiny bit, but this is gonna work fine. Knock on wood. Let's get this old base in the ground. You gotta rock it. I don't know, maybe put it right here. It won't hit the hole and then scrape all the dirt down with it. With any sort of
Do you want me to stay out of the way?
Yep.
Okay.
I want you to wrap it all the way around the bottom. Now. All right, go ahead. All right, again. Again. All right. Let it out a little bit. All right, guys. Here's all our components. We'll show it all to you. Oops. Oh, you are on. Here's all our components. We have done this before. We're doing this again to show you. We have a completely assembled middle portion or panel unistrut section behind the barn. But I want to show you all the components at least. It's a little bit of work, but now that we've done this, it shouldn't be that bad. Huh?
Well, so we have like one of the very first models of it, probably. I mean, this already looks nicer than it looked the first time.
Yeah.
There's like step by step. Before, guys, these directions, I'm pretty sure it was just like a piece of paper.
It was. It was a piece of paper.
And we were totally winging it the whole time. Good improvements we've already noticed.
Oh, look, each bag has a number on it. All right, guys, so here is our plentiful amounts of hardware. This is a lot of work, but we only have to do it once. So we got every bag is labeled 1, 2 through 11. So that's awesome. Good job, Eco-Worthy. Good directions. Everything looks nice. Even these look improved. Even the actuators look improved. They got like, you can see like gaskets around everything. Maybe not here still, but all the main rods are labeled C, E, D, and B. Wind sensor. These are the brackets that hold the panels together. These were a little tricky. I remember that. And here's all our little brackets to hold the panels to the unistrut. And here's our tracker. I feel like this is a little bit better too. Like it's recessed.
Yeah.
That other one wasn't recessed, so maybe that protects it from the weather a little bit. It's got screws.
Does it have a cover? It didn't have a cover.
No cover.
Right?
No cover. Here's all the sensor. Here's plugs. These, you know, okay, there's a new improvement. This used to open, and we used to have to hardwire everything in. We don't have to do that anymore. Everything has a plug on it, so that's nice. All you have to do is hook it to a battery. The sun sensor, they actually show you where it goes, because it used to say top right, and you didn't know if it was the top right here or the top right here. So now we know exactly where we have to mount this, and the position. Just like this. Before I put it up actually at the wrong corner. Still worked, but probably not as well. And that's it. Nice direction, like nice big thick booklet for all the adjustments and parameters for the controller. That's really nice that they did this. Because I remember before the directions told you to put X wire, red wire here, blue wire, brown wire, and they actually had it wrong. They had the directions of east, west incorrect. So this should hopefully all be good, and we just plug, and like all the actuators have different plugs on them now. So you can't plug them in the wrong spot. So they go into the controller right. So
this is a improvement.
Yeah, it's more user-friendly, DIY user-friendly for sure.
We installed it. I just checked out the video, guys, because I wanted to see what we did last time, and we put it up 2 years ago.
Yep.
I think it was more in the fall, or was it the springtime? Because there wasn't a lot of leaves on the trees, so it was either springtime or fall. I didn't see the date on it. It just said 2 years ago.
Yeah, I feel like we put it up more. No, because we did it in the spring because they wanted us to do it, and we couldn't do it again because the ground was frozen.
Okay.
So like they sent it to us
in November.
Yeah. They were like, it's not gonna be able to we're not gonna be able to dig a hole in the ground for like 4 or 5 months. So it was in the spring. So it was a little over 2 years ago. And it was working great for a year and a half, the other system, until we did this last fall, this bigger array.
Yeah, so it worked good for 2 years, and we just took it down, and everybody's been asking where it went, why we took it down, if we didn't like it, if there was problems with it, and nothing bad to say about it at all.
Yeah.
He didn't really want to take it down, but he didn't want to block the new solar panels either. So it's kind of a...
Things change and you modify things, and now we're going to use it again. And we got a brand new and improved system. So maybe we could find one of you guys that wants this old one that's in Michigan. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe one of you guys can use this at your off-grid property. The old one. The old one worked fine. So, and... maybe we could come help you set it up. I don't know. We'll see.
First up is the B rod. I don't know why they skipped A. I don't know if A is this big one. It's not even labeled A. It just says main pole, but...
So we got lucky. So we got lucky. Jenny said there's a new bolt that comes with this. This is a bolt rather than a cotter pin slash... sorry. So that pin is the same... Or that... bolt is the same size as this pin, so that's good. Hopefully this works. So should we put this on, or do we attach stuff to it before?
No, it shows putting B into that, and then you put C on top of it, and C's got...
So does it go up like this?
Yeah. Yep.
Does the holes go south or north? Guys, we're going to take our time with this and show it to you good now, since we're actually building it. The last one, I kind of sped up a lot of stuff. We'll try to show you as good we can, everything.
If you have questions while you're watching this, please drop them in the comments.
Yep.
I'll just reading directions and showing you.
Tighten all we tighten everything down at the end, because
that way if you have to redo anything, you don't have to take it all the way apart.
Put something on backwards.
So C goes on top. You use screw bag 3 with the latch and cotter pins.
All right. No. So that would be my only suggestion, guys. Last time too, I didn't have the Allen wrench. This takes a big Allen wrench, so you got to have the right size Allen wrench. Again, we're going to tighten everything. The directions are really good now, like pretty good. There we go. We're gonna put, we got more holes here. I assume we need one in each one of these holes too. Okay.
Yep, that's what it showed.
All right, well, let's get this one on so it's balanced.
Are these new solar panels the same wattage, or are they higher?
I know, they are the same wattage. They're 195.
Okay.
195 watt panels.
But they're the bifacial ones, which is cool because come wintertime when we have snow, they can get double.
Yeah, they'll get power from behind.
Yeah. So even though we'll have less sun in the wintertime, well,
it'll get 20% better of zero.
Trying to be positive here, dear.
I need another shorty. And a washer and a nut. Preferably a washer first. This isn't that bad once we know we're doing it, right?
Yeah, I feel like last time it took us forever just to get to this part.
What we were doing. I mean, we still don't, but we're doing better.
And something some of you might ask is how this does in the wind. And it actually does, like, we've never had any problems with it, right? Like blowing in the wind.
No, I mean, it moves a little bit, like it has a little bit of flex, but it doesn't.
But considering how windy it is up here,
it lasted a year and a half.
Yeah, we never had
problems, so.
We never had any issues with it. So
we got all the parts mounted to the main base with the pivoting parts, the unistrut that the panels mount to. We're gonna have to put perpendicular ones here later, but right now it wants us to put on the actuators.
Yep, and we already have this piece right here installed on the front.
Yeah, we have that piece that's on the main base because this is the old base, so this is still on here, but we need to mount one up here. So the actuator is going to go from here to here.
The shorter one.
Yeah, the short one.
Yep.
Now, does it show it like that in the picture?
Yep.
Just like this.
Yep.
So one other thing we learned with the other system is I did have an actuator go bad. Now, I thought it went bad. I think it just got froze. I think it froze during the winter. That's because there's not really a way to put a seal around this joint. So people were suggesting to put it upside down. That way water doesn't go down the rod into the machine. So that's what we're going to do with this. We're going to mount it like this. We're going to mount it like this rather than like this.
Is that what you did the last time when you replaced it? Okay.
When I replaced it, I did that. It worked good for the time that we had it going. The only difference that is you know, the cable's going to be a little bit farther away, like 6 inches, but that's not a big deal. So anyway, we're going to swap a battery here and mount this. All right, guys, so we got the actuator in, the 2 brackets. They just got a push pin and a little cotter pin. We did mount this the opposite that they suggested because then water can go down the unit and not go inside the piston. This is not a hydraulic piston. This is a screw style piston. So there's no way to seal this really. So put it upside down helps keep the water out. Thank you. Thank you who suggested that, you know, like a year or so ago when I had an actuator failure or one freeze up. Huge help. So hopefully that'll help somebody as well. So doing all these videos with these products and stuff really do help people, right?
Yep.
And if we could help somebody, that's kind of the goal, right?
Uh-huh.
So let's get on to what? The next actuator?
Yep, so you are going to have to flip this piece.
Okay, so yep.
So we did put this one piece on wrong, which again, it's not, sometimes the directions can be slightly more clear. Like,
did way better this time.
yes.
That one just was kind of a little bit of a guess.
Yes. So we just have to flip this one, and then he is going to put 2 more of those little linear stands on, and we're going to connect. Going to connect it from the top of that down to this.
Yep, that'll be the east and west piston or actuator, and then that's the north and south piston or actuator. You know, it'll tilt on a north-south axis, dual axis, and then that one will go up to there, and it'll tilt everything east and west.
Mm-hmm. Pointing out.
Alright guys, so we have the brackets for the second actuator that goes east and west. I remember from doing this that I had to take the actuator back off because we had to mount the panels and I needed to like pull it down. So we'll probably put the actuator in, I guess, but it's gonna be easier for it to be free floating. The hardest part of this whole build, and we're coming up on it here, is getting the panels mounted because it gets lopsided with weight. Like we'll put 2 on this side and then I can't reach up high enough, so we have to flip it over the other way. Jen will have to hold it, I'll have to hold a panel, and it's a little difficult. We'll be honest. On the other one it was anyway, unless they fixed something, but I don't think they did anything different with the mounting brackets for the solar panels. The good thing though is you only have to do this once, typically, if you don't move your solar tracker like we did. So, but we're showing you a nice new fresh one. We'll see what happens with the old one. What step are we on? Number 8?
Yeah.
So step number 8 requires us to take the unistrut and do the vertical pieces or perpendicular pieces to the ones that are already on the unit. What this does is allow us to put 2 more panels, one on top and one on bottom. Because we're going to do 4 wide on what you see here. You can see it real well. There's going to be 4 wide. And then these extra unistruts are going to go perpendicular. And like I said, allow us to mount 2 extra panels. Some people I've seen do videos like this, they only use 4 panels, which is cool and makes it a lot easier. I don't know exactly where we're mounting these. Last time we also mounted these on top. We have these brackets. These were in with the solar panel mounts, the little mounts that mount the solar panels to it. This goes on here, joins the 2. It's a union. So here we go. C-clip or clamp, push these together. These need to be snugged together and centered and then tightened down. So now we have one long unistrut to go perpendicular. I will say this is a 2-person job pretty much. It'd be really hard to do this by yourself just because you got to keep the whole thing from pivoting and moving around and have, you know, different pieces of brackets, and especially when we get to this point into the panels. So these are the original unistrut that's mounted to the unit itself. The first time we built this with the other system, we put these unistruts on top. And then, of course, when you come across with the panels, they were in the way, so you had to move them to the bottom. So we learned this time. Hopefully they're in the right spot. They're underneath this unistrut, and then all we have is this clamp in the way. You know, I guess we just go around that, right? I mean, that's what it shows. We got our 2 pieces together here. These are tight. I still haven't tightened any of this stuff like super snug. I have to find an Allen wrench for this big. So we got to find an Allen wrench that big. So maybe they could include that in the future too, and a little wrench. But you know, this is a big unit, so you should have them tools. I should have those tools too, but you know, I probably do. I just have to go find them. So I feel like last time I held them with like a wrench, like I held them with like a vice grip wrench, which is a pain in the butt because they all have Allen wrenches on them. But anyway, let's get the next one on. Stand on the concrete up here. Alright guys, I went through with the Allen wrench that Jen found in the toolbox, a big old sucker, and the proper wrench and socket, and we snugged everything down. Look guys, more foam for packaging maple syrup that we sold you guys. We reused like 90% of everything from our sponsors' shipping materials.
And boxes. Barry got his syrup yesterday, and he got his syrup in a suet box. And he was like, "What's this?"
So we reused all our packaging material. So hopefully all you guys got your syrup in one piece. I used a lot of Power Station foam and a lot of this foam like this to wrap everything. So hopefully it worked out good.
So far I haven't heard anything.
Yeah, I haven't heard any complaints yet, right? Look at that fancy looking panel.
So this is one of the bifacial ones, and so it can collect sun from the back and the front, which is exciting.
So here's one of the other eco-worthy from the old tracker. I guess, I mean, I don't know if they did anything other to make them bifacial other than just use a different rear coating. Move the camera back. Actually, look how much different size it is, too.
This will be our first time trying out the bifacial panels, guys, which is...
Feels lighter. A little smaller, so that makes sense, but...
Which is cool, because I'm sure a lot of you guys have asked, well, I know a lot of you guys have asked about bifacial panels and us setting this up again. So it's like a double win for you guys.
Yeah, and we didn't get, we're not gaining much from showing you this other than we get the product. So that's cool.
We get to learn things.
Yeah, we get to learn, and we have a affiliate link with EcoWorthy. So if you guys do buy some of this stuff, this is very affordable tracking system. Like the tracking system itself, I think was $400 to $500 before. It should be in that price range still. If you guys use our links to buy some EcoWorthy stuff, that would help us a lot.
Help support our channel.
Keep us going.
Helps us continue the builds.
Yep, we take all that money and reinvest it.
And it lets EcoWorthy know that you guys like buying from us, so they want to keep working with us.
Yep.
So it's like multi-win, because then we can keep trying out new stuff from EcoWorthy also.
So those affiliate links really help our channel, and we appreciate if you guys use them. They're going to be in the description box below, and they'll probably be on the first pinned comment as well.
Yep.
And EcoWorthy, they're not compensating us to do this. They just gave us this panel to show you guys, or gave us this unit to try and show you guys. And our last video did pretty good, so it works out for everybody.
Yeah.
Win, win, win. If you don't want to watch this video, go watch something else. So maybe we'll give away this old tracking system. We'll see. It'll have to be somebody local because we can't ship it, but we'll figure it out. So guys, these little inserts that go in the unistrut, they go in vertical, and then as you turn the screw, they rotate 90 degrees and pinch themselves in. They're a little bit of a bugger because they don't support anything, so you got to hold the panel and try to get this done. Again, not EcoWorthy's fault or nothing. It's a good system. Just you only have to do it once, so it will be a little fun. So watch us do this and giggle.
We're just gonna start down.
Start down here and try to stack them, I guess, and see how that goes.
Okay.
All right, guys. So I thought we finally were making some good progress, and I realized that we were not centered. You need to learn from this because I started at the outside edge and I was stacking, and that was working really good because it holds them in place so I don't have to struggle the whole time. But apparently it's not centered if it's on the outside edge. So we got to come up like another 4 inches. So we got all this stuff finally going good, and we got to take them all apart again. So you got to make sure that you start in the middle somehow or something, because if it's not balanced, if it's leaning toward one side, then you will get a lot of wobble, and it won't be good for the system, and it won't just won't balance right. So we're starting all over. Don't make this mistake.
Jay's gonna go get a ladder, guys. Y'all know how much he likes that. Or you ran off skipping and dancing, then you get to go get a ladder. Right?
I think I found something I like less than ladders. These little brackets that you install the panels with.
Got it? Yep. You got all the... Huh? Huh?
Can you lift that up? Take it. It's going to get heavy once it starts getting unbalanced. Go ahead. Keep going. Apparently this one isn't centered. A little bit more. There we go.
Good, I can let go?
Yep, yep. Alright guys, we'll see you guys in the morning. We'll hook up all the actuators and a battery and get this bad boy rolling. Alright guys, good morning. We're missing out on some good sun here. So yesterday we installed the dual axis tracker from EcoWorthy. It's a 1200 watt system, 6 200 watt panels or 695 watt panels. We're excited to try this out. We have some experience with the 2-year-old model. This one has a few nice improvements, and as well as a few improvements to the control system and a few other things. It also has bifacial panels. So as we're on the back here, you can see that we can see the cells from behind. So we should get a little bit of reflection from the sunlight behind too, so I'm interested to see how this does and how it produces. Real quick, we're going to hook a 12-volt battery. You do need a 12-volt battery to run the motors or actuators and keep the control board powered up. So let's get this hooked up real quick. Put a couple little ring terminals or fork terminals on that, hook it to the battery, plug in the actuators, and then we'll be rocking and rolling. We also have to hook all our panels together, and depend upon what we're going to charge with it is going to depend on how we wire these. These 6 panels could be wired all in series, or we can wire them in series parallel, depending upon what we're going to charge with it and what that unit will take. So real quick, we're going to get the sun sensor on and the control panel hooked up. So stick with me, and I'll try to show you as much of it as I can, as well as I can. Alright, so I was going to hook the 12-volt battery you see here to the control system, but I should probably plug everything in. Plug in the actuators and plug all the panels together. So let's do that first. The panels are completely isolated from this system. They do not charge the battery. They don't do anything like that, but we do have to have the sun sensor mounted and all the actuators plugged in. So the VOC voltage, or the voltage open circuit on these panels, is a little higher than the other ones used to. The other ones were 20. These are 24. So we have 6 times 24 is what? 6 times, that's 150, right? Like 146 or 144. So we'll just say 150. There's 150 volts coming through all these if we run them all in series, all connected, positive to negative, positive to negative, positive to negative. So we're going to do that because we have a power station that we're going to run in the mini cabin for the time being with this system that will take 165 volts. It'll take a 12 volts all the way up to 165 volts. So that means we could run these all in series, one big loop, happy, and no need to parallel anything. If we wanted to cut that voltage in half, we could do 3 panels in series and the other 3 panels in series, and then parallel them together, and we would have half of the voltage. We'd have 75 volts instead of 150 volts. So, but because we have a power station that we're going to use for the time being in the mini cabin, because our power station is big enough to handle it, we're just going to run them all in series. We'll have 150 volts of charging. That's kind of one of the stepping points of different size charging, charge controllers and stuff work. Normally they're 150 volts or less, and then you have ones that'll take up to 500 volts. So ours is luckily will take 165, and we'll be happy to go. So let's.
Does that give it more solar input?
Yeah.
When you have the hot and the
Normally there's a max.
Mm-hmm.
It'll take 1,800 watts or 1,200 watts. But it has a parameter of voltage.
Okay,
yeah.
So if
like
you have the
smaller
highest
power
voltage,
stations will normally take like 12 to 40 volts or 12 to 60 volts. A bigger power station typically has a better charge controller in it, and it will take a higher voltage.
Okay.
But they typically have larger inverters as well, so there's a little more parasitic draw. But that's neither here nor there right now. We're just charging.
Okay. So you just connect, when you connect these in series, you just connect every female to a different male?
Correct.
Look at me.
So, yep.
Learning solar stuff.
Yep. So we're going to unzip tie these where we have to. You obviously do not want to connect the things from the same panels, because that'll short it out and possibly and most likely ruin your solar panel. So like right here we have a female, which is, you know, the innie part, and then we have the outie part, which is our positive. So we're gonna run right here this female to male. No need to unzip tie all this stuff. Just leave it up here nice and tight. Okay? Alright, so let me show this to you real quick. So we're starting over on this side. We have a positive and a negative. Alright, I'm going to have to tie this up a little bit better, but basically we're just creating one giant loop. From here to this panel, then up to this panel, and then out this panel, over here to this corner, and then it goes through the panel, loops around over to this panel, and then out over here to this panel, and then we have a negative. So when we end up with this, we always need a positive and a negative. We need a negative female, most likely a negative. Always, in my book, it's always been a negative for the female. So this is going to go back to our cabin. And then this positive end here, with the male end on it, is our positive. So we'll wrap these up a little bit so they're not hanging so low. We're going to bring these back to the center, zip tie them, and then come down our pole and go on the ground. You can't have, you know, we try to have not a lot of wires dangling around. So now we have to tie up or connect all our actuators. And before we used to have to hardwire these into the computer board, and we no longer have to do that. And it's plug and play, which we like, but it's also dummy proof, I think, because we have different plugs and outlets on each actuator even.
Well, that's good.
Like the other actuator has a different plug. It has the male portion, and the larger actuator has the female portion. So we can't mess it up plugging them into the control board. This is good both for the consumer and for the company, because then they don't have issues. See, look, we possibly can't plug two males into each other. So let's find the other female. There's the other female. Push that in. A nice rubber grommet or O-ring in there. Nice and weather tight. Down the main.
Let's see, this guys goes on it, determines the wind speed. Does it like?
Just, it tells it to go back to flat.
If it's too windy?
If it's too windy.
Okay. So.
We never used that before. I mean, you're supposed to, but we never had it hooked
You
up.
just would manually go do it, right?
Yeah,
or if you thought it was going to be windy and we were gone for a weekend, we would just flatten it, right?
Yeah, we just...
Guys, I want you to go back and watch our old video from this and tell me something you notice in common. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but go back and watch the old video and then come back and watch this and tell me what's in common here.
What do you see that's the same? Such a brat.
I'm funny. Guys,
You keep saying that.
Jason says my funniness is brattiness, and I just think that I'm funny.
Good that one of us thinks you're funny.
I think they think I'm funny too, so you're kind of
It's
in
less
the...
funny when you toot your own horn all day long. Black is negative. Brown is positive. Comes up here. This unit will beep and turn on, and you will see SL. Sorry, I can't turn the camera sideways, I don't think. I can. There we go. So enjoy that. I don't know how that's going to work. Should work good. SL. You have SL, which is sleep mode. If we push the set button right here, it will go into MT. And then we can manually move it right now. So let's see if it will go east. Ah. There we go. It's all the way south. Like it's as much south as it can go. It can't go steeper.
Okay.
I wish it would. I wish that would have maybe been something. Maybe the other one, it would have been a little bit steeper, but I don't think so. Just because then the snow could shed off of it. And then in the winter, you know, it could be steep enough to not only shed snow, but it could be a little bit better angle to the sun.
So what would that need? A different actuator here in the front?
Yeah.
Like
either that
more
or,
out?
Either that or bring it down farther. Or have, you know, like right now it hits on the base.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's made that way because it would be probably too much weight on the base and too much weight on all this stuff.
Yeah.
You know, so it's fine. It works great. It just, in the winter, the sun is really low on the horizon.
Yeah.
So we'd want it to be a little bit more if we could, but that's just my... So anyway, let's see if we can go north. There we go. Plug and play. Everything on this system, guys, I've told you for 2 years, I really, really like this. Everybody cusses these things out because, you know, it's always more affordable for stationary stuff, but this is a fairly inexpensive system. And even if you just leave it in a stationary position, it's still a good racking system. The only thing I don't care for is the little plastic and metal fittings that connect the panels to the tracking, to the railing. But that's just because you only have to do it once, but it doesn't work real great unless I'm missing something. But it holds it good. It's just getting to that point and putting it on the railing even so it's balanced. There you go. It'll go all the way flat. This is what you want. This is called sleep position. So that way the wind goes through it. That's another thing. If it went all the way vertical, then the wind could hit it and damage stuff. So they have it set that way for a reason. It's not just accidental that it won't go steeper. But anyway, let's keep it north, actually. And then we'll bring this farther east, and we can put the sun sensor on.
Okay.
So now, in theory, when I take it off of manual mode by hitting the quit button, this sun sensor should take control of this and follow the sun. It's going to go more north-south. There we go.
Ta-da!
Now it should track the sun for the rest of the day.
Pretty cool.
All right, guys, we have 100 feet of PV cord here. It's 10 gauge. It'll take 600 volts. It's PV rated or UV rated, and we got 100 foot of it. We have this from I was preparing to do this for like the last 6 months. So we're just gonna drag wire from down the post of the solar tracker over to the mini cabin. All right. So Jen and I are just going to do that. We'll kind of show you from the distance. This isn't like something that has anything to do with this at all. So we just want to get this charging so we can see if we get any power. It's going to be raining for the next 2 days. So let's get this done. Go ahead and
Also with this wired.
All right, everybody. We have our extensions going from the new solar array down the hill here, just laying on the surface until we work out, you know, the longevity or the final plan. They're going underneath the cabin. So did this solar generator or the power station need to be...
Somebody charged it all the way up recently, for once.
For once, the power station was full when you needed it to be empty, and when you need it full, it's empty, right? Mm-hmm. So we're draining it so we can put a charge on it. It was at 100%, and we made coffee, ran a heat gun and a vacuum. And we ran that for like 15-20 minutes on 3,000 watts, and it went down to 87%. So now, moment of truth, I gotta go plug in the last MC4. We have this MC4 connectors coming out of the wall and to the power station. In theory, could leave that plugged in all the time and have continuous power here at the cabin. Mm-hmm. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah. So let me go plug in the last one, and you show what happens here. Hopefully nothing explodes.
Thanks.
Cover your face when I say okay. All right, ready?
Yeah.
Boom!
So the input changed and it's going up here, guys.
Input is only 230 watts.
Yeah.
Hit the display button. 300 watts out of 1200. That's not good. But you know why? Because it took too long to get everything going. We should have started at 8 o'clock rather than 11 o'clock. So we're only getting 300 watts because it's about 2-3 o'clock now, and half of our panels are covered. So when half of your panels are covered, that means all of your panels are restricted when you run in series. So I tried really hard to get this done before the sun was behind, well, one, it's behind the clouds, but now it's behind the trees too. So half of our panels are shaded, which this is not our primary system. So we might cut a few branches back on this tree right here, but we're not cutting that whole tree down because that's one of my sugar maples. But yeah, check it out. Pretty cool, pretty fancy. See, what we could do is run it over to the mini cabin, and then I could bury an additional set of lines over here to our new solar bunker, and we can either take the power to the mini cabin, or we could take power to the bunker. Or we could just take all the power to the bunker, and this will be our distribution area to the big cabin and the little cabin. We don't know what we're going to do yet. We like to experiment. We like to mess around with stuff. It's fun. People learn stuff. We learn stuff. But what this means for this video right now is that we're going to have to take a day break until we get another sunny day. It's supposed to rain the next 2 days. Give me 30 seconds here, and then we'll do a full day of monitoring the dual axis tracking system from EcoWorthy. And we'll show you running our mini cabin. We'll probably just leave the mini cabin turned on now all the time. We got a few things we have to do to that too to get the power to the cabin a little bit more safely. So, all right. We'll see you guys on the next sunny day. Hey guys, good morning. We finally have a nice sunny morning. We've had some good sun through the last few days. It's been a few days since we installed the tracker, but every morning, the first half of the day, it's been raining off and on, so we haven't been able to really get you real clean data for what the solar tracker is doing. So today's going to be that day. I believe it's going to be a pretty much bluebird day. Few clouds here and there, but yeah, tracker kicked on this morning. Up to this point, I've been just manually putting it flat at night because I couldn't remember how to set the parameters so it would go back to flat at night. Thus far, the last few days when it has been tracking, it just stays in the west position, which in the morning when the sun comes up in the east, that makes it hard for the sun indicator to pick up. So we need to set that today. I just watched the video of Solo Jim. This is the second or third time I've watched his video on how to program that. It makes it real easy to understand. The manual's okay, but it's still not perfect at explaining how to do that. But I wanted to show you that the mini cabin has been running. We're not running anything in there. I'm just trying to create a system where we have power ready to go when we need it. Having a large power station in there that will take a large solar input. This is 1200 watts of panels, but it's 150 volts of power when it's set up in series, like we have all 6 of them in series. 150 volts, 10 amps. Yeah, just over 10 amps. So if we start putting those in parallel, series, parallel, or parallel, our amps will go up real quick. And most power stations as well will only take 20 amps of solar input. So we pretty much have to run it in high voltage, low amp situation. But the tracker is in full sun right now. It's still early in the morning, so keep that in consideration. I'll keep you updated throughout the day. Hopefully the sun stays out like it's supposed to. I disconnected the solar for the last 2 days and left this on so it would drain down, and it drained down to 33%, and now it's been on the solar tracker for half hour, and it's up to 43%. We're getting between 850 and 920 watts. So we'll see if we can get better production, if we can get that last 25% out of it once the sun is straight above it. I mean, the whole point of the tracker is to get optimal power the whole day. Not like if this was sitting flat. Actually, I'll go show you that. I'll go put it in the stationary position and we'll see how much it changes. Let's go do that right now. So now we know that we were getting 900 watts, give or take, with full sun. Let's go put the tracker in a stationary, straight south position and see what kind of production we get. So that way we could gauge how much extra wattage we're getting. We're gonna hit set, which puts it in manual mode, and then we're gonna hit it all the way west. All right, that's straight stationary setup. We were getting 900 watts before. 250. That's full sun. 608. That cloud coming through again. So let's say that we get 900 watts. When the solar tracker is pointed straight at the sun, optimizing our production. And when it's not pointing straight at the sun, so for the first half of the day till about noon, so the first 3 hours of the day, we're going to lose 300 watts times 3 hours. That's 900 watts. It's an extra hour of sunshine we're going to get out of this pointing in the right direction. So let me quit this out, give this a minute, and it will turn back toward the sun. So there you go. So just even with the 3 hour difference, like if we just a half a day, not even a half, a third of a day, we would get an extra 900 watts. So an extra 2,700 watts if you have a nice long summer day. 30 to 40% better production by having this track the sun all day. And this will work really good with this system being located over here, give you a better indication of someone like who's in the woods. This is capitalizing on the amount of sun we get, because we get no sun from the west, because I'm not cutting down all my maples over here. So we're going to get that better production for the short amount of time that we get the sunshine. If you have a small opening where you only get light for 6 hours a day or 5 hours a day, it's going to collect that much more sunshine during that time because it's pointing in the right direction. So I'll let you guys track this for a few minutes. I'll shut up, and then we'll let you know if we can charge up that system by the end of the day. All right, yep, just went and checked it, 931 watts compared to the 600 we were getting before. So 600 to 900. So that's pretty crazy. All right, guys, Jen just asked me if the power station was filled up from the tracker for the day, and I said, I don't know. I didn't look at it.
I'm going to look at it.
I said, go look at it.
And he's following me along.
So again, the tracker only gets sun for about half the day, so we wanted to capitalize and optimize that 5 or 6 hours that it does get. It's what is it, 5 o'clock right now? 5:30? So I mean, solar is pretty much done on our regular array as well, but there's about where it stopped getting sun at 2 o'clock ish, 3 o'clock ish.
Yeah.
So let's see how the power station did. Oh,
99%.
it's got 69 watts going into it still. So there we go. So all Life PO4 batteries charge really fast, up to 80%, and then the last 20% goes a lot slower, just healthier for the battery. So this power station in general seems to sit at 99% for a long time and just like squeeze in every last drop. So, but it's charged up, hooked to solar. We've had that thing, huh?
What was it down to this morning?
33%.
33%. So that's good. Charge
Yeah.
fully back up then.
Yeah, that's a 3,800 watt hour
Power
station. So that's been on. We have not turned that unit off for. I mean, I turned on the inverter so it would kind of like drain it, because that has a parasitic draw. All power stations in general have a little bit of draw when they're on, whether you're using them or not for anything. So that drained itself down within a day to 33%. And it's a big inverter, big system. So that's one of the pitfalls to bigger power stations, but they have a lot of power and they store them up. If you turn them on and off when you're not using them, they'll last a long time. If you use them for tools like we do, like we use them for tools and we use them for small little projects, they'll last forever. If you're trying to use them full time, they work good, but you do have quite a bit of parasitic draw. Mm-hmm. So, but that has been on for 5 days. We actually baked the other day. Mm-hmm. We baked and used the oven. The lights were on. We could run anything. Oh, I charged the other power station. I charged the Blue Eddy on the Anchor because it was just faster. And that's one of the things. That system will not take 150 volts. And that larger Anchor power station will. So eco-worthy, we really like our eco-worthy tracking system, right? Mm-hmm. You guys know we have to really like it to install it when we have a large array already, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
I'm excited for to see how the bifacial ones work. But I don't want the snow to come fast. Yeah. But I'm excited to see how they work. When?
Well, there's still collect sun right now from behind.
Like from the ground?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not as much because there's nothing reflecting power,
But
up.
not as much as like when there's
Yeah.
going to be snow on the ground, which is cool. I'm excited to see how that works because I've heard stuff. So but let's not rush that.
Yeah. This morning and this early, this morning, we were getting 960 watts out of that. The other day, for some reason, I saw like 1150 watts out of it, but only for a minute. So I don't know why. Maybe in the afternoon when the sun was high in the sky, it would get a little more. We weren't here. We were gone for the last 4 hours. But yeah, I wish we would get a little more than 960 watts. But most solar panels in general are 80% efficient anyway. So that's what you get. I do get really good output on my stationary array for peak hours of the day. You get like 3,300 watts, which is like 90%. So that's a lot better production. But this gets, as I told you earlier, if it wasn't moving, we would have gotten around 500 to 600 watts all morning. We would have got 900 to 1,000 watts all just for a couple hours in the afternoon, and then around 500 watts in the evening. This way we could get, if we had sun right now, we'd still have lots of good sun. We still have hours and hours of sun, 2 or 3 hours of sun over there, if all these trees weren't here. So if you can get 900 to 1,000 watts for 10 hours a day, that's pretty impressive out of a 1,200 watt array. So
if you think you'd like one of these eco-worthy solar trackers, check out the links below. There's a little bit of discount codes below, and eco-worthy, we've been working with them, like 3 or 4 years now.
Yeah.
But we really like their products, and they make some good stuff.
Yeah, and I really love watching this thing do its thing over here. So, and we've had good luck with it. It's been a very good unit, been very reliable, right? So like Jen said, check out the links in the description box below. And
if you have any questions, drop them below too. And if you're new here, checking out our solar video for the first time, he's got lots of great solar videos.
Yeah. We
do lots of solar stuff here, and we'd love to have you join us.
Appreciate you guys hanging out with us during this video, and hopefully we see you in the next one.
Yep.
Best
Bye.
wishes.